Chap's got a Tim. Tim has been in a video before called "The Past of the Past" about where, just like me, you were a bit of a wrong 'un and you sorted your life out,
Yeah,
and you're generally helping people day in day out, day in day out. So well done to you, mate. Really.
thank you.
Um, but I think we just wanted to have a bit of a natter. Sorry, we've got Ian as well. Sorry, mate.
It's all right.
Forgot
I'm
you were
used to it
there
now.
there.
I just blend it in the background, mate. It's
No,
fine.
there you go, mate. You're part of the features now, mate. But I think after our few conversations online and the stuff you share, I think it matches with our patterns a little bit of just why the hell are we only helping people when they've hit rock bottom?
Exactly, and that's part of it. Is we only seem to be helping people when they've hit crisis. Or in my line of work, I only go into work to support people that are at crisis, to support the staff, to support the individual. Why are we not doing the pre-work? The being, like I said a minute ago, the 70% of being proactive. We're helping them to get their likes and dislikes or their needs being met. And then 20% is the active side of when they are in crisis. But we need to be doing that work first. And that goes for not just in care, like I was saying, it's every day. Everybody that's struggling with a mental health issue or anxiety or depression, we should be there in the forefront and not at the moment of when they stick their hand up or when they call out for help or admitted to hospital, for example. We should be doing the pre-work, and it's dire at the moment, to be fair.
No,
The NHS is crumbled.
no, it is, especially when it comes down to mental health. I think if maybe I'm right. I think if you got like cancers and other things where like you could die very, very quickly, I think they are still pretty good at that, if I'm
Yeah, oh
honest.
yeah, yeah. So I just thinking more sort of the outreach people, the people that are on the shop floor, basically, as
Oh
I
yeah,
describe
no,
it.
totally. To
Yeah,
be honest, but I'm just covering the
yeah.
chariot's ass.
Yeah, 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 oh, yeah. No, the NHS is fantastic. It helps a lot of people, and I'm not here to
No, no,
criticize.
exactly. But
As overall, they're a fantastic
yeah,
service. They help so many people.
yeah.
It's just, I think we could be helping or offering a more of a service or diverting certain amounts of money in a more productive, fundamental on the shop floor,
No,
grassroots, so to say.
no,
And I
exactly.
know it's not easy, and that's why I think, from my point of view, I see more of the effects of lack of funding, lack of support. And it's not just the NHS, it's private. The private sector as well is taking a huge chunk of this, and this is what we need to come back to, bring it back more to the NHS, because we seem to be going out to the private companies who are making a lot of money from this.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And trouble is, I'll just speak as a male perspective and what I've seen in the hundreds of calls and whatever else, like the private place. Let's call private, including the charities.
okay.
All the wording is all about speak, 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 and that sometimes that doesn't work.
No, we need the tools in place to, that are easy to access, easy tools that people can just access on their own or with support, if that's what we're
Yeah,
saying now.
because
But
that's
I mean, let's go on, mate.
no, no, go on.
I was just going to say that, like, the data that sits behind it, obviously me being a kind of numbers person, it's staggering in terms of the positive impact that a little bit of proactivity has. Like, I know Kirsty, that we were filming with last week, is regularly bangs a drum about, for every pound invested, it's something like a £4 positive return, like from a numbers
Mm,
perspective, because you can
mm.
get on the front foot with this stuff, and you can support people as we do as a charity, and you do as well, Tim, before it hits the buffers and before it really hits the fan. And it's just, I can't get my head around it. Like, I've tried so many times. It's one of those things that I'm like, I can't understand why companies aren't on the front foot with this stuff, because of the impact it has. From a private perspective, it's the shareholders. There's charities, and then there's private companies that have shareholders and things like that. And I think private companies have the lucrative, because the NHS is struggling for social care and those kind of aspects. The private healthcare companies pick up and go, I can provide that service, but it's going to cost you. Some of these
Mm.
people are £25,000 a week. And then you think of staff, and then some of these people we work with have very complex needs and severe autism, challenging behaviours, non-verbal, low capacity, complex needs. So there is that support that they need, 24-hour support. So, but I do think personally, how we when it's looking at numbers in return for that, what is that person getting for that amount of money that you're paying? What kind are they getting meaningful activities? Are they having a better quality of life? Are they being supported in a clinical level as well as emotionally and physically from the support staff? Are they homed in the right, are they matched with the right people that they live in? And it's very difficult, but there's a lot of money that's floating and being chucked around in the privates, you know, in the sector of not the NHS. So when it comes to numbers, it's difficult to see when you see £25,000 a week for one person, and then the social care seems to be struggling. People are stuck in hospital beds that they can't provide. It's a difficult world, and it's a difficult to justify each number and to justify. But it's trying to get that. It's not some money for nothing, but like you were saying, is the quality of life we're trying to improve.
I mean, I think it's like the funding side of things is a massive problem, isn't it? Let's be honest, in terms of the NHS, the private sector stuff as well. If you kind of look at how the country's run as a whole, you couldn't run a business like that. You couldn't run
No.
any kind of organization like that. You'd be out of business within a week with those level of debts, that level of incompetency, that level of spending on unnecessary shit, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then you look at like
sorry.
the budget that came out, all the kind of stuff. I mean, if you ever watch Carol Vorderman on LBC on TikTok or Instagram, the stuff that she's exposed, phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I just don't give a shit. And this is the challenge. It's like that everyone kind of sat in these great spheres of like massive wealth. And we were talking about this the other day when you had our PM went out to a school, I think it was, or an engineering company, and didn't even know how to use a hammer. Couldn't even hammer a nail in.
No.
And you kind of think,
well, I
you're
think
expected to be on the ground and support these people that need the help, the most vulnerable in our society.
And I think that's a key point of what we do, what we should be doing, what you Man Up do, and what I do is we provide those functional skills, and it is about functional skills. It's everyday skills that we seem to be missing, and it is whether it's going to meaningful activities. They're not just going for a drive with a staff member to the shop. They're involved in that decision making. They're involved in the meaning. Is it meaningful to them, or is it just meaningful for the company because they need to do shopping? So they put you down to take that person to the shop, and then it's put down. You know, there's a lot of things like that. So it's the functional skills, the daily skills, the quality, improving the quality of life. You know, is it personal centered what they're doing? Is it we looking at the behaviors? What are they trying to tell us by behaving? And it goes to, you know, going to mental health, as in people that are struggling with their mental health. Their behaviors, their actions are telling us something. So we need to work out what they're trying. They're in pain, you know. Are they not getting enough stimulation or being overstimulated? And it goes to everybody in life. What is that behavior trying to tell us? What are they trying to tell us? Do they need help? Do they need medical help? Do they need physical support, emotional support? Yeah, so it's getting that grassroots again and giving the functional skills to everybody. And what I was talking about at the beginning is transferring what I do in the mental health to everyday life. We have a set way of working out best how to support somebody. What's the problem? Why are they behaving or acting like this? You know, and these are the skills we put in place to support that person, to meet their needs, meet their likes and dislikes. How are we not providing that in an everyday life? And some people call it wishy-washy talk, but to me, it's fundamental. We can really improve people's state of mind, you know, and that's the whole purpose of, I think, whatever sector you work in, sectors that I work in, whether it's private, NHS, we are always trying to improve the quality of a person's life, whether it's just verbally talking to them, or providing them the tools to go, actually, I can do this. This is, you know, and I've got support out there, and it's providing that right support to improve, again, the quality of life of us all, really.
Well, this is what I found is that now more and more doctors socially prescribing stuff like the Andes clubs, and we're on them now, and we've just been accepted in Suffolk, I believe, as well.
Brilliant.
And Kent, there's like I've kind of stopped counting now, because doctors tend to tell people to come to MANUP and watch our videos, because normally the bloke's been dragged there by the missus. And whatever else. So it's like, what's that? And then strangely enough, they were like, oh, okay, maybe I'm acting a bit like a dick, or maybe something is wrong. Then they go back to the doctors, and they're happy to get help. And
This is what we need: more exposure and more doctors coming on board, and physicians and practitioners are saying, this is, instead of having medication, try this. And what you guys are doing is talking about giving people the opportunity to speak out with what's going on in their lives at that time. And yeah, and the exposure that you give everybody is what I've noticed, and people have said to me that you give them the relief of going, actually, I'm not the only one. And I know it's a cliche thing to say, but people are still struggling daily that I'm the only one suffering. And when they see the Man Up videos and other people talking, they're going, well, blimey, thanks. You know, I'm not the only one that's struggling on this. And social media is a massive platform because it gives them the independence to speak to them, watch the videos in their own time, and that just having an appreciation, well, not appreciation is the wrong word, but just they know there's other people out there that are suffering, you know, and want to contact.
What do you do? Because you deal with, I don't want to say more extreme. I don't know how to replace the word.
Well, it is, yeah. So
okay.
I work with people that are at the extreme level of autism and challenging behaviours and mental health issues, and they are in social settings, social care settings, or medium to low secure units. And basically, these people are people that are using this service are at crisis, and the challenging behaviours, they're non-verbal. Staff are struggling to help them make an informed choice in their life due to their behaviours, because they've very little capacity on what's right and wrong. They have little capacity on hot and cold, to self-harm, and there's a lot of people, these individuals that I've been working with, the only way they know how to communicate is act out, hit out, and because they can't tell us what they want and what they need. So what my job is to provide that support for them to be able to communicate, how to tell them when they're too hot, or there's too much noise, there's too much light, or they're hungry, or they're in pain, because they can't do it. So they hit, or they self-harm. The only way they know is to be aggressive or smash things or break things. So I provide them the tools to say, I'm hungry, I'm cold,
So
tired.
how do you get some of those back into society the best you can?
Well, this is the main frame is quality, improving the quality of life, because some people I work with will always need to be supported, and that's how they are. So the best we can we change the environment. We move them on from a secure unit or medium to low, and try to have a pathway for them, so that first they go into care on crisis and the full team 24 hours a day supported. Then we try to lower that support, but give them the coping skills and mechanisms to go, I can behave, I can function, I can eat, and we try to improve their quality of life. So some people will never be out of care. This is that because of the low functioning, learning disability, autism, the mental health issue, whatever and a lot of people that are severely autistic come with lots of other complex needs as well. It's not just autism, it's learning disability, low functioning, anxiousness, depression. Unfortunately, some people really struggle to live a normal life, and we take choices for granted. They don't get to choose when to get up and when. This is my job, is to help them make that decision when they get up, when they're fed, what they can have, how they can go shopping, how they can input on their daily life by using simple tools and techniques. And we try to have a clear pathway, so they come in at the hospital and they have some supported living. That's the aim, is to have as little supported living as possible. But some people will always need a lot of support, and some will need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, full support, one-to-one.
No, that's quite sadly refreshing to hear. But I mean, and it's a weird thing. But and I think that's something what we've said quite a few times as well. Is when it comes down to mental health, maybe not as extreme as what you've been discussing.
No.
Actually, sometimes once that's been tipped over, that might be your identity for the rest of your life. So what we have to do is we have to make that long, hard decision. Yet again, I've been there before. Somebody, I just know what someone will watch is going. It's easy for you. Trust me, I've been there.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to make that decision. I can either stay in bed being depressed and borderline being in a pity party, or fight to get myself out of bed.
Yeah, it's like with me. I was addicted to methadone, and if I hadn't made that choice to come off the methadone, I wouldn't be here now. I'd be probably dead. You know, I have to take action. I have to fundamentally, and I know that I can be in the pits of darkness and don't want to get out of bed and don't want to do that. But if I don't, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. But by putting simple things in change, one step at a time, writing a daily journal, having routine, having rituals, doing, I know it's a cliche thing, but making your bed first thing in the morning, you've done one task already. So it's just simple tools that we need to give people. And we have all the tools we need available to us, but not everyone's aware of them. So my job, I suppose, is to help people and give them the tools to say, you can do this. If you do this, this, and this, I need your commitment, but I can get you from here to here. Let's go. You know, because it is dark and you can be so depressed and you want to end your life. You know, suicide's at the all-time height at the moment. You know, mid-30s at the moment.
Both genders is going up as well.
Exactly, you know, and this is another why I want to speak, is because we need to give those tools now. We can't, you know, we can't wait until crisis. Let's get them in now. Let's do this. You know, we need as much support from everybody as we can, but we need the functional tools. We need easy tools that people can apply easily daily, you know, and have that support.
Yeah, no, I think that's what each and every one of us can do, even if it's not about our own mental health. If we see someone struggling, and even if you know they're going to be a stubborn fucker and they're not going to go to the doctors, we actually take them to the Andes clubs and take them to the walking clubs, take them to the talk clubs or whatever. And I'm starting to now
make them accountable, you know, for what they're doing. You know, so you're going to turn up and you're going to turn up, and you know. That's what someone did for me, made me accountable for what I had to do. I'm going to meet you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Are you going to be there?
Yeah.
Why aren't you there? Next day, I was there. You know, making accountable for our actions, but in a positive way, not for what we've done in the past. You know, we're not. The past doesn't control me, it doesn't define me, but I use that as a tool to say, this is where I've been, and this is what we're going to do. I'm not going to judge you for what's happened beforehand. I'm just going to judge you on what we're doing right here, right now. This is the moment. Let's move forward. Here's the plan. Get you from A to B. And this is the smaller chunks of getting you through the day, of your addiction, of how you're feeling, of your problems within work, or whatever the problem seems to be. There is a solution to that. And let's just do it. So it's, you know, it's given the tools. It really is.
It needs to be as simple as that. And this is the thing. Like when we talk about this, it's actual simple stuff. Like start with the simplest possible scenario that you've got, and then build it out from there. And we were talking about this last week, Dan. We're saying, like, even when you get like a group of mental health charities into a room, every single one of them's got a slightly different agenda, and it's competition. Like we're in competition with you, and you're in competition with us, and it's not like we're all pushing in the same direction, man. It's fucking infuriating at times, but like I think I love what you said, and I love your approach. Like for me, the takeaway from me for this is like, actually, like we can verbalize this stuff, we can talk about this, we can talk about being happy, we can sad, we've got concepts of it. There's people out there that haven't got any concept of what happy, sad, angry, and stuff feels.
They don't know what they don't know what they're feeling. So let's give them the tools to. Well, that's what I do, is give them the tools to say, I'm pissed off, I'm hungry, I'm in pain. I can't tell you that, but I'm sad. I'm okay, or whatever that, you know. Like,
and they've got the same rights as every single one of us.
And there's having that,
and that's quite sad.
Giving them that informed choice as well. So, you know, overall, I know we've got a few minutes left, is just giving them a quality of life. And that's for everybody. Informed choice, helping them to make that choice for themselves. You know, not taking choices. We never take choices, we always add them. You know, and and just giving people a fundamental, functional, everyday activity to change their lives, and give them, if they choose not to, it's hard, but you've got to say, okay, I've tried. You know, but we've always got to be there and be a lending ear and not judge. So that's what I'd say.
And on that bombshell. Perfect timing. Let me hit that button, Ben. I really should put that on my stream deck.